Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I know I haven't done any voiceovers or any type of talk through video, so I thought today would be, since I have nothing to do, I would go ahead and just do a chit chat, get ready with me, show you how I kind of do my makeup on a daily basis. Kind of just talk to everyone today. If you like this video, if you like this type of video, definitely let me know. Like the video if you want more, or go ahead and leave a comment saying what kind of videos you want me to kind of do. I really want your opinion. I really want to know what you guys want to see so I can tailor everything towards you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of go ahead and get into everything. So the first thing that I do start off with that I didn't show on camera is that I do prep my lips with Aquaphor. I do have eczema on my lips or around my lips, so it does get irritated when the seasons change. In Florida, it's mainly just heat and humidity, so that does aggravate my skin a lot. I do have very dry skin, so that doesn't help at all. But the Aquaphor definitely does help. Right now, since we're going into spring, it is getting really irritated and kind of, it's peeling, it's like cracking, and it's not a fun time. So if you have eczema, then you kind of know what I'm going through. If you have it on your face or anywhere on your body where it gets irritated and dry and it starts to peel and crack, and it doesn't feel good. But that's what I do first. I always put Aquaphor on my lips. It is an ointment for babies, so it's super sensitive. Since I have sensitive skin, it's perfect. I don't have perfect skin at all. I have breakouts here. I get a lot of breakouts on my contour area. I don't know if it's because of the type of contour powder that I'm using, or if it's maybe the primers that I'm using, but I've never used to get breakouts here. I used to always get breakouts here, like this pimple. I used to always get breakouts on my nose and on my chin. Now mainly it's just blackheads on my nose and chin that are not really that noticeable. But yeah, I get breakouts and I have acne scars on my skin because I do pick. It's a really bad habit. If you do it, please stop. Don't follow my example. I do have blackheads and I have pretty big pores, or a lot of pores that are small. I'm gonna go ahead and just use my Benefit POREfessional. I do have still the sample size because I got it from my Ipsy bag. I have a lot of things that I use for my Ipsy glam bag monthly subscription that I can't afford to buy on a regular basis. So I take about that much, and I kind of just rub it together, and then I dab it into my porous areas, which is generally just the sides of my nose, the top of my nose, and the sides, or the apples of my cheek. There you go, the apples of my cheeks. And then I take whatever is left and I just put it on my chin area to fill in them pores. But I'm going to go ahead and use the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizer. Looks like this. And this is from another sample from my Ipsy glam bag. Now this does go a long way, so I'm going to go ahead and just put apparently a very big glob on the back of my hand and kind of just, oh god, it looks clumpy. I haven't used it in a while, so that's probably why the cap had clumps in it. But I'm just going to go ahead and kind of put on the high points of my face. So the tops of the cheeks, the nose, a little bit on the forehead, and then on the chin. And I'm going to go ahead and take a beauty blender and blend that all out, which of course once I use the beauty blender to put my foundation on, it'll kind of just all mesh together into perfection. You know what I forgot to do? Oh, I look crazy. Forgot to wet my beauty blender. I'm just gonna go ahead and dab that all through. Now I am kind of avoiding the texture on my skin. I don't like how this is going on my skin today at all. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really clumpy. But I don't like it. But I'm kind of avoiding my breakouts here, just going above it because I don't want to highlight that at all. And of course, anything that's this is not working for my skin at all. This is horrible. Never had this problem before, but it might just because today is a dry day for my skin. So I'm avoiding my breakout areas. I don't want to enhance it at all. whenever you put anything that's glowy or has any type of highlighter, and it does enhance a lot of texture and bumps. So I am just kind of, avoiding all of that. So I am going to avoid this guy right here. Use my Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I actually didn't like this foundation at all when I first got it, and I found out it was just because I was using a really bad brush. I don't use brushes usually anymore for my foundation. I really like using the Beauty Blender because it just puts it on smoothly for me. It is dewy, of course. Since I have dry skin, I don't want to use anything matte. I need as much moisture as possible. I need as much glow as possible so my skin doesn't look like the Sahara Desert. So I'm in the color 120 Classic Ivory, and then I just put dots everywhere. Now this foundation isn't full coverage whatsoever. Well, it has coverage of course, but it's not full coverage. So my pimples do still peek out a little bit here, but I'll just cover that up with more foundation whenever I get my whole face covered. I do like the coverage by itself. It is buildable, so that's why it didn't bother me that much. It is my favorite drugstore foundation right now. My favorite, I guess, high-end would be the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, but I kind of ran out of that, so I have no choice but to use this one, which I don't mind. Like I said, I like it. It's cool. So yeah, one of my skin issues that I do have is I do have eczema, and I don't have eczema anywhere except for in my mouth region, which is so attractive, you can imagine. When I was in, I want to say from like the 4th grade all the way until my junior year of high school, even till my senior year, it was so bad. I guess because I'd moved, or when I was in middle school, the majority of my middle school and my elementary school life was in South Carolina. So the weather there did change quite often. They actually have seasons, so that did irritate it quite a bit. I used Blistex Medex is what I used to use, and that it helped, but it didn't help enough because I would get breakouts and it would come all the way down here, and it would come like all around my lips. I would basically peel and it would be red and it would be just disgusting. So that was something I was very insecure about. I'm still insecure about it to this day, especially being 20 years old. You know, I want my appearance to be one of my best, not features, but appearance is a large thing for me right now. So especially with social media and kind of, you know, all these perfect images of these girls out there that, you know, you kind of want to be. So it definitely does make my insecurities worse, I guess you could say, but I've grown to kind of accept it now that it has gone down a lot. It's not as irritated, it doesn't flare up as much anymore, which I'm so grateful for. I'm not sure if it's because of hormones with me getting older or if it's just my body getting accustomed to Florida now. I've been in Florida for, I want to say, 6 or 7 years now. But the moral of the story is that I had eczema that would get so bad and it would just bring all the way up here. It was bad, and it was like I would walk around school, I would always be biting my lips, I would be sucking on my lips, which made it worse, but it's the only way that I could kind of hide it and make it seem like me sucking on my lips did that, not just it was there because I had a skin problem. I got into high school though, it got worse and worse, and it would just, like, I remember I had people all the time like, what is that on your face? Like, why do you have that? What is that? And I didn't know how to explain it to them. I didn't know at that time that it was eczema. I thought it was just like a rash that I would get out of nowhere. So I would tell them, I don't know, it's just dry skin. It's just dry skin, which it is. It is just dry skin. It's eczema. But it was so embarrassing. And then when I have a huge insecurity when you're in your coming of age stages, when you're in high school or middle school going into high school, you know, you want to be that person who's cute, and I didn't care about my appearance at all until I want to say maybe sophomore or junior year is when I started caring, or the end of freshman year going into sophomore year is when I started caring about my appearance. I started getting better clothes, I stopped looking like I lived on the street. I would brush my hair and do my hair. But yeah, so that's when I started caring about my appearance. It really affected me because I was so embarrassed by my eczema on my face, and it would just peel, and I would keep on peeling it, and it would scab up because it would bleed, because the skin would go so deep, or the peeling would go so deep in my skin, and then it would take forever to heal. So I want to say around middle sophomore year is when I got onto Aquaphor, and I found Aquaphor, and that helped immediately. It just kept everything so moisturized, and it made the area less irritable because I kept on, moisturizing it. What I found out about Blistex is that the Blistex, it would moisturize, but it would actually irritate it because it was medicated. So since my skin is so sensitive to that, and it wasn't doctor prescribed, I would just go with my mom and she would buy me whatever she thought would help. The medication or the chemicals in it made it so much worse. So with the Aquaphor, it took about a year for it to settle down. And kind of get more under control. It still had its bad flare-ups where it'll peel and it'll be just annoying. But for the most part, it did calm down, and it was so much better to do with. I would wear makeup and it would actually, it wouldn't peel off during the day, because I used to go to school with foundation. I would go to school and then I would be licking my lips and putting on Aquaphor and trying to cover it because it was still pretty bad and still peeling pretty badly. So it would peel off all the foundation here, and it would just, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. So that's one of my big skin issues, is the eczema on my mouth. Another thing that happened to me, it's not a skin issue. Yeah, I burned my face. I had an blood circulation issue, I guess you could say. I don't remember what it's called. But a lot of my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I never felt well. I always felt really sick. So I would always call my mom to pick me up. And she never believed me. She always thought that I just didn't want to go to school, which was also what I hated going to school. I hated the school that I went to. Not so much the people, but it was just, I don't really like living in Florida. I missed all my old friends. I missed, being known and having more fun at my other school than I had at this one. I found really good people here, just very, very few. And the relationships never lasted. Like, it kind of would go through the school year, and then we get different classes and we would separate and not talk anymore, and everybody kind of went their separate way, which is how high school works. I'm not mad at it. I just, it is what it is. But anyway, so I used to get really sick, and I would just kind of feel dizzy all the time. So one day, I remember calling my mom from the nurse's office. This was, I'm gonna say my sophomore year, because I believe it was my sophomore year. I was like 15 or 16. And I called my mom from the nurse's office. I was like super, super, super dizzy. I didn't feel well at all. And she went to go pick me up. She worked about 45 minutes away. She would constantly keep on having to call off of work for me. So it was really frustrating for her, and then she didn't believe me. Well, the day she came to pick me up, I went and, oh, by the way, I used the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer to do my under eyes. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the Airspun Loose Face Powder to set. So the day she went to go pick me up that time, I was so bad that when she was filling out the paperwork to have me signed out, I was like, I can't stand anymore. I'm going to just go ahead and wait in the car. I went to go open the office doors, and I almost like face planted on the floor. That's how bad it was. So I had to have, I think it was the football coach at that time, help me out and help me kind of walk back to the car. I was hysterical crying. It was so embarrassing. Nobody was there. Just the office saw, so it was all adults. It wasn't like any high schoolers saw. But it was just embarrassing that I had to get walked to the car. Like, nobody wants to go through that. But at that point in time, she noticed. She was like, okay, there's something not right here. We need to go ahead and take you to the doctor because something's wrong. So while we were driving back home, she was making an appointment for me at the doctor, and basically the doctor said that I have, like, whenever, I'm sure a lot of people have it, when you get up really quick, you get like kind of dizzy and you get like red, like spots, not red spots, but like white spots. It kind of looks like stars. I used to get that a lot. The only problem was that when I was sitting up too quick, the blood wouldn't circulate fast enough to my brain, so I would just lose all energy, and I would kind of just get frazzled and want to sit down, or I would see all white and I'll need to grab onto something so I didn't fall. Only one time that I have an actual fainting, like a dizzy spell that was so bad I fainted. And I remember it so vividly. It was so weird. It was like an out-of-body experience. My mom was cooking dinner, she was cooking dinner, and I was on the couch playing on my phone, texting my friends, and she told me, she's really short, and I'm taller than her because my dad's a giant. So she was like, I need you to get the strainer for the potatoes out of the top cabinet. And I was like, alright, whatever, I'll go ahead and do it for you. So I got up. Once I got up from the couch, it was like I wasn't even me. I was kind of like watching myself walk. And as I was walking to her, I wasn't paying any attention to it. It happened so quick, like a matter of like 30 seconds this all happened. I got from the couch, walked up to the cabinet, and I reached up. When I went to go reach up, I put my arms over my shoulder to get the strainer. I was like, I remember saying hold on. At least I thought I said hold on. I don't think my mom heard me say it. Oh no, she did. She did hear me say it, and I said hold on, and she thought that I was just giving her attitude because I had to text one of my friends back or something. And ended up trying to grab the counter before I fell. And the cabinet was here and the stove was right here. So she had boiling hot water with potatoes in it. She had a frying pan that was still burning hot with pork chops in it. So thank God I missed the boiling hot water in the pot with the potatoes. So I didn't get burned from that, but I did fall on this side onto the frying pan. My face hit the frying pan, and then I fell down on the floor. And I was out. It felt like I was out for at least 2 or 3 minutes. I think I was out for like maybe another 30 seconds. So it was all really, really quick. And I remember waking up and I had really, like I didn't see anything at first. It was my hearing that came back first. And it was kind of like I was coming from inside of a tunnel out. So it was just all silence. And then I'm coming out and it's just like my mom is screaming, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she's like hysterical crying. I don't even notice at this point my face is burned. I'm just like, what happened? I'm like looking around. My brother said that I was staring at him, like screaming what happened, like weirdly. It was creepy, I guess, for him. And then she like picked me up. She took me to the couch. And I remember I don't know why I remember this, but I remember my glasses fell off of my face because I wear contacts and glasses. So I remember my glasses falling off my face and going across the floor. I thought my glasses broke, which I was kind of upset about. Because I was like, how am I going to see? How am I going to walk around? I didn't wear contacts at that time. So I'm like, I'm crying because I see my mom crying. She was like, I thought you like had died. I didn't know what happened. She's like, I thought you were going to get, boiling hot water on your body. I thought you were going to have third degree burns. Blah, blah, blah. So she sat me down on the couch. She gives me a big hug. She's hysterical crying. My brother is calling the cops and the ambulance, and he's freaking out. He's like, they're asking him where we live, and he's like, Mom, I don't know. He's older than me. He's a year older than me, a year and so months older than me. So he's freaking out. He's just horrible and panic mode, I guess. And so my mom took the phone and she gave them our address, whatever. They came, and then I noticed, I was like, yo, my face hurts. My face hurts a lot. And I went to go touch it. She's like, no, don't touch it, don't touch it. She's like, you're peeling, you got burned. And I was like, what? And then the cops came and they took pictures. They, of course, asked questions to make sure it wasn't any type of abuse or anything like that. And then the paramedics were like, don't rub it. Just leave it alone. Put cold water on it. Don't rub it. My dumbass, I got a microfiber rag that is meant to pick up dust or like wax or something. And I put cold water and I put it straight to my burn. And I went to go pull it off and it pulled some of the skin off. So I was like, that's a stupid idea. That hurt a lot. Thankfully, I didn't get any scars because my doctor gave me this cream that was good to kind of keep the scars away. I didn't get any third degree burns, so I'm really lucky for that. I think it was second degree burns. And the cream really, really helped. It peeled. It was so disgusting afterwards. It really was. I'm just using the Airspun powder to kind of powder the rest of my face. So it was really, really gross. I remember I was scared to go back to school because I was like, I don't know what people are going to say. I wanted to kind of make a joke about it. So to one of my friends, when she asked me, because I only told a couple people over text, I was like, dude, you will not believe what just happened to me. I like just burned my face and da-da-da-da. Oh, also, of course, after that I had to go to the doctor. So I went ahead and I got a